Hello guys, welcome to this live stream. So in this live stream I will basically talk about how to build a CRUD REST API inside Node.js and Express, and we will be using handlebars for this purpose. So you can basically see on your screen, this is the application we will be building here. It's a simple user CRUD kind of an application where you can add user, create user, delete user, or you can update the information about a user. And we are using Tailwind CSS to construct this user interface. And we have three input fields: name, age, country, and we have a button out there. We'll show all these details in a table like structure. This is my MongoDB database, guys, and we will be storing these details inside this user table. Currently this table is empty right here, that's why you are seeing nothing on the screen. So if I just fill out the entries here, name, age, and country, you will basically see the information will be inserted and it will be displayed on the table like structure. And we have two buttons, delete and update. Let me insert some more information. You can see that. So as you can see, we are inserting information using this form. If you refresh, the information will stay, and we have three records. If I refresh this database, you will basically see ID is the primary key, that's why it is automatically generated. Then we have the name, age, country, same with this also. So three records are there. And now let me show you how to delete. If I click the delete button, that entry will be deleted. You will see that. So now if I refresh the database, only two records will be there. And we can even update if I click the update button, the information will be pre-populated. We will have this update user form. I can basically change this name to, let's suppose, this one. Click on update user, you will see your information will be updated. And if you cross check inside your database, refresh it, you will basically see the name is changed right here. So we will try to build this application CRUD REST API, and we will be using MongoDB as a database, and we are using Handlebars as a template engine to basically construct this interface. And we will be using the ORM library, which is Mongoose library, to actually interact with the MongoDB database. So we will try to basically build this application from scratch. If you are interested to buy the source code, guys, all the source code is given in the description of the video. You can directly purchase it. You can purchase it from PayPal in United States dollar or in Stripe in Indian rupees. So both the payment links are given in the description of the video. So now let's get started. So this is my actual project here, and I will basically first of all stop this server and make a new directory. I will call this as Node Express CRUD and cd into this, and open this inside my Visual Studio Code text editor. So currently this directory is empty right here, and we will instantiate a empty package.json file. So we need three modules to be installed inside this file. So once it is created, even the left hand side, you will basically see package.json file is created. Now we need to install Express, which will be the web server, and then Express-handlebars, which will be the template engine. And the third dependency, we need Mongoose, which will be used to interact with MongoDB database. Express handlebars, and Mongoose. So these are the three dependencies which are needed for this application. Simply just install this, and after this we will start coding. So just create an index.js file, and inside this file we will actually now create our. So first of all, guys, we will instantiate a new Express server by requiring it. So app, and then we will be listening this server on 3000, and the callback function, we will say app is listening on port 3000. And after this, guys, we will also import some more dependency at the top, which is Mongoose dependency. We need to require it, and also Express handlebars. So this is a template engine, Express handlebars, simply require it. We also need the path module, which is a built-in module. You need not have to install it. And after this, we will now be using that Mongoose library to actually connect to the database. And for the database, guys, we are using MongoDB, and we are using MongoDB Compass community software, which is available for Windows. You can download the exe file and you can basically create a database. Simply click on this option. You can create a database. I've already created one which is called as user underscore CRUD, and let me delete this collection. This collection will automatically get created once you insert the record. So this is my database, so I will simply write user underscore CRUD. So the address of the database, simply say MongoDB localhost followed by the port number, which is default port number is 27017, user underscore CRUD, CRUD. So this is the address, guys, and now it takes some options at the, which is use new URL parser to true. Second option is use unified topology to true, and this returns a promise. So if the connection is successful, then we will simply console log that MongoDB connected. That's all. So we also need to have our body parser middleware, guys, also express.url encoded extended to false and express JSON. So this is required because we are getting data from the forms inside Handlebars, so this middleware is necessary. And now we need to also set the engine, guys. So app.set app.engine, and we will set the .hps, so which stands for Handlebars. Express Handlebars, we will use this function and use the engine function, and here the extension name will be equal to .hps. So this is the way, and you also need to provide the default layout, guys, property. So default layout name will be main. You can call this anything, and then we will set the view engine by using the set method. View engine is equal to HPS Handlebars. So that's all that we need to do, guys, inside this. And now we need to create our views folder. So here all the views will be stored, and inside this we will have a layouts folder. Let me first of all create a file here which is index.hps, and also a layout folder, layouts. Inside this we will define our main layout file, which is main.hps. So in this file, guys, we will basically have all the boilerplate code here, and we will simply say user CRUD, and here we will simply copy paste the CDN of Tailwind. So for this specific application, for designing the UI, we are using Tailwind. Simply paste the CDN of that, and we can style the body, give it a background color of gray, 100, flex, justify, center, item center, and horizontal screen. And we can embed basically all the children's in this triple curly brackets and set it to body. This is the syntax of Handlebars, guys. We can embed variables in triple curly brackets, and here we are simply telling it to all the content will be there, all the child elements. So we have created this file index.hps. So here we can write anything, h1 hello world. If you launch this application, changes will take place. Node.mon index.js. So if you see here, we haven't written the route here. For having routes, we will create basically a file which will contain our routes. So we can simply call this as user route. User route, I can call this file. And here we can define all the routes which will be required for this application. So all the get, post, all the routes related to it's a very good practice. You need to abstract your code into different files. So here we can create a simple router. So router is equal to express.router, and we can create a router. So here we can simply say router.get. Whenever someone goes to the home page, we can have this template which is response.render index. That's all. We will display the template. And lastly, we just need to say exports.module.exports. We need to export this so that we can use it in different files, which is router. And then we can import this at the top, and we can call this as user router and require it dot slash route slash user route, and then we can pass it as a middleware. So we can say app.use. For every request we can pass it to this user router. So in this way you can basically include this file. So if I just refresh now, it will automatically, it is saying that use unified topology is not supported. Let me check, guys, what is the problem here. Use unified tuple. Let me delete this option and just check if it is working or not. So now you can see the message is printed out, which is MongoDB connected. So you are successfully connected to the database. If I refresh, you will basically see hello world is printed out right here in the center of the screen. So we are actually now displaying this template. So here what we can do is that we can change this template here and to display a simple form to the user. So we can say inside a div background gray 100 flex justify center item center edge screen. So in this we will basically have another div. So these are all tailwind classes, guys. Max Excel width will be full, background will be white, so BG white, rounded LG shadow LG, padding is 8. Inside this we will have a simple heading and which will say user management. Phone bold MB4. And after this heading, guys, we will have a simple form. So this form will be basically be making a post request to /add. So method will be post. So class MB8. Inside this form, we will have a div which will have these classes. MD width 1/3 px2 MB4. So these are all bootstrap classes, tailwind classes, MB4. So inside this, we just need to close this div tag. Here we will define our input field. This will be type text and name, and placeholder is need to give it, enter the name and give it a class here of border gray 400. Border rounded medium px4 py2 w full. So you will basically see, guys, if I refresh here, you will see a simple field out there where you will enter your name. So I think I can just paste this code here. This is a slightly HTML code, so this video is not about HTML. So you can, all the source code is given in the description of the video. You can just purchase it. And this is the actual form here. If I refresh now, name, age, country, we have a button out there. And now once I click the add user button, we need to make a post request. So we now need to make this post request /add. So what I will do is that I will define a post request right here inside my user route, this file. But before that, guys, we need to create our models. Whatever data we will be storing is inside our database. So just create a models folder and define your models. So I will call this model as user.js. You can call this anything. And for defining the model, we will import the Mongoose library. We will simply say Mongoose, and we will define the schema. So whatever data that we need to say. So new Mongoose dot schema, and we will have the name parameter, which will be of type string, and it should be required. So required will be true. And then we will have the next column will be age. This will be of type number, and this will also be required. So we are putting constraint that this field can't be left empty by the user. Country, and this will be type string, and it will be also required true. So after you define your schema, you can just export this. So module.exports Mongoose, you can create a model, call this as user. The table name will be users. So user schema, you will provide this. That's all. And now our model file is ready. And now we can basically go to our routes, user route, and basically import this file. So you can define this router.post/add. So this method will be async. Just make this method async. And inside this, we will write all the code inside try catch block. And we will basically get the information which is entered by the user. So this information we can extract name, age, country from the request.body header. After getting it, we can construct a new user by instantiating the model. We can import the model. You will see automatically Visual Studio will import that model that we defined in the user.js. So then Mongoose just provide us a method which will save this new user, and we need to initialize this new user passing these three things: name, age, country. And then we will call this save method, which is available inside Mongoose, and then we will redirect it to the home page. So once we redirect user to the home page, guys, we need to fetch the users as well. So once I just, so you will see nothing happens here, but if I check the database, if I refresh here, you will see a table will be created users, and one record will be there. ID is automatically inserted by MongoDB, so you don't need to worry about that. You can enter some other record. Refresh. So two records are there. So now we need to display this records in the page. So how we can do that? We can, in the home request, we can make this async, and again here just use try catch block. And we can fetch all the users by using this user.find method. And we can convert this into a JavaScript object by using the lean method. And then we can store it inside a u variable. We can create a variable which will hold all the users globally. So we are storing it, and then we will re-render the template passing this users as a argument. That's all. So now we just need to go to our index.hps, and just inside this for each loop we will use it to display the records. So just after the form we will just have a table. Just after this we will have a div tag overflow xauto, and this will be a table These are all the classes here. Inside the table here, we will have some columns here, name, age, country, and each of the columns will be having these classes. So let me paste it here. So name, age, country, and the actions, which will contain two buttons out there. If you just refresh here, you will basically see name, age, country, actions. Width will be full, so just make sure that you have a space here. So now you can see. So after this, we will run a simple for loop and t body. And first of all, we will check inside this if condition that if the property users exist. In that case, we will close the if condition like this. So this is all in handlebars, guys, this conditional statements. And then we will use the each block hash symbol each users, and we will loop through them. So we will close them by this tr like this. So we can embed the variables inside double curly brackets. We can call this as this dot name, this dot age, this dot country. So if you just refresh now, basically all this information will be displaying right here. You will see that. So in this way you can embed variables. So we can give some classes to it just to style it. So I will simply copy this and paste it. So we are given some tailwind classes just to style them. So you can see that. So have some border here, and after this, inside the last td, we will have two buttons here. So this is very simple code. First button is for delete and second will be update. So this action will go to /delete followed by the id. So this dot underscore id, which is automatically generated by MongoDB, and this method will be post. Sorry, here just change the method to get, because we will make a simple get request to delete the user, and for updating purpose we will make the post request. So we are again embedding the id here, automatically generated by MongoDB. If you refresh, we will have these two buttons for every user, so that when we click the delete button, it will make this get request, and also when we click update. So here the method, just change this method to post. Method here post. So we need to make these two requests, guys, just to, as I click delete, the record should be deleted. Our create button is working here. So now we just need to make our delete buttons. So what I will do is that we will go to user route and just make these requests out there. So we will go to this file here, and for deleting purpose it's very easy. So we will try to make this, just wait, guys. So we will simply say here router dot post /delete. We pass the id as a param. So This will be async function here. And inside this, we will basically get the ID which is passed by the user by using request.params.id, and then we will simply delete the user by using its primary key, which is ID, user.find by ID and delete. This method we will actually use a Mongoose library, and we will pass the user ID. User ID will pass it basically, and then we will simply say here we need to redirect to the home page. So if you refresh now, if I click delete button, cannot get, sorry, this method needs to be get, not post. Just change it. So now you can see as I click the delete button, the record says deleting right here. If I cross check, only one record will be present inside the database, you will see. So now we just need to say, if I click update, we need to make that update request, which is router.get /update/id. So we need to populate the values of the selected user using this request. Just change this index.htps like this. And inside this, we again will write all the code inside try catch block. So for basically getting the user, we will simply fetch the ID which is passed as a query parameter. So request.params.id. We will find out the user by using this user.find by ID function and pass the user ID and convert this into a leen function, JavaScript object. So the user is found. We will simply read into the template index, and this time we will basically provide a property which is update user. So to this property which is user, and the user's property will be u. So all the users are stored inside this global variable that we defined early on, which is currently empty. We are instantiating it inside this get request. We are storing all the users and then passing these two things like this. We are also passing this also updated user. And now we just need to manipulate our index.hps, and we will simply have a if condition right here. We will simply check here if the updated user property is available. In that case, right here, we will have a if condition. If update user is available, we will close the if condition. Then we will display the update form. So I will simply here copy all this, paste it. So this we will change it to update user, and this action will change it to /update/ followed by the updated user._id. So we are dynamically passing this /update/updated user.id, and then for pre-populating the values, we'll give it a value property for each of the fields. So value will be updated user dot name, and this one for age, this will be age. So if you refresh, guys, basically what you will see, we also have a else block as well. So we just need to have else block, So we have if condition here. If the update user property is true, then display this update user form. In the else block, we will display this create user form. And lastly, we can just close the if condition. That's all. So if you just refresh now, try to click update, you will basically see /update. The data here is not populated. Let me see what is the error here. Update user dot name. Oh, sorry, this needs to be update, not updated. I just misspelled this, sorry. This just not update user. If you refresh now, so you will see all the populated values will be there. So we can change this, and if I click update, we need to make this post request to carry out the actual updation process. So this is the first request that we made. If I select any record, these records values will be pre-populated inside our update. You will see this is the first get request using its ID. So the URL changes here. You will see that this is followed by your ID here, unique primary key. And now we just need to make that post request, this /update user ID. So go to user route.js and simply we need to make this. This is very similar, guys. So simply the structure will be very similar. So what I will do, I will copy this request and paste it. This will be router.post, and we'll fetch the user ID and then find the user by its ID, convert this to a JavaScript object, and then instead of this we will update the entries. So now for updating it, it's very easy. We will say here updated user. We will find out user by find by ID, pass it the ID here, which is user ID, and then we need to provide the actual values, name, age, country. We will provide it. So this we can basically get by using destructuring request.body. We are simply passing it, and it also contains a third parameter that we need to pass, which is new. So we need to pass this to actually update the actual values. So that's all. It takes the user find by ID. This function is find by ID and update. This is the full function, find by ID and update. It takes 3 arguments. First is the user ID, which records you need to update. The second one is the actual data inside JavaScript object, which are updating name, age, country. And third one is we need to update this. So new is equal to true. And now we need to redirect the user back to the home page after the records are updated. That's all. So if you just refresh now, click on delete, and let me start by adding some records. So if I want to update, you will see populate. If I change the name here, so name will be changed right here. You will see that. If I cross check the database, our name has been updated. So in this way we can delete things, we can create, we can update. This is a user CRUD kind of an application. Hopefully you have enjoyed this, guys. All the source code is given in the description of the video. If you are interested, you can purchase it full source code in PayPal or Stripe in United States dollar or Stripe. Thank you very much for watching this live stream, guys, and please subscribe the channel, hit the like button, and I will be, guys, seeing you in the next live stream.